process of adjusting to some restoration we did last summer, and we're going to talk a little bit today about the history of the site, what we did, and what we can expect from the future. So thank you all for joining. Here once again, we're in the watershed with Johnson Creek Watershed Council. I'm Daniel Newberry, the Executive Director, and filming us today is Tiffany Mancias, our Community Outreach Coordinator. And just to let you know, there she is. She's got her wonderful mask on because we want to let you know we are practicing social distancing guidelines. She's actually about 15 feet away. She's got her mask on, so everything's corona cool for today. So let's talk a little bit about what went on at the site. So if you see in the distance, you can see a kind of a little bit of a pond with a creek flowing right into it. And you see a fence behind it. There was once a culvert there. And if we come back to where I am now, I'm going to walk a little bit over here. I'm standing on the edge of an old road bed. And if you look out across, you can see how that road bed continues. And in fact, what's kind of interesting, yeah, there's the rest of the road bed. This is artificial, as you guessed. Was once an oval racetrack. The people who owned this property before the Centennial School District, they liked to race horses and ATVs with their friends, and so what they did was they put two culverts in, created the racetrack over Mitchell Creek, and formed a little pond. If we look over the edge here, down into the creek, this all used to be a big long culvert. So Mitchell Creek, that's the name of this creek, Mitchell Creek, it was contained inside a culvert. Now it's free flowing. And one of the kind of the sad things about creating that racetrack and putting in the culverts was it created a big pond, and fish could no longer get past the culvert. So it was a complete passage barrier to salmon and steelhead. And of course, what ended up happening was some fish got stranded a long time ago when this happened. And in fact, when we did the restoration, we found a small cutthroat trout up in the old pond when we were draining it. So once again, welcome to Where in the Watershed, Johnson Creek Watershed Council. Daniel Newberry here, your host for today's edition. And I was just talking about some of the history of the site. This used to be a racetrack, and we took out the two culverts. You know, over time, and I'm going to walk down a little bit. Over time, this pond filled up with sediment. If we look out to the trees in the distance, those are the headwaters of Mitchell Creek, and there's 400 acres in the headwaters owned by the Metro government. And one of our overarching goals, long-term goals for this project and others, is to create get rid of all the fish passage barriers between Johnson Creek and the headwaters. So this will be a nice cold water refuge, because this particular tributary is a natural cold water refuge. And so salmon desperately need cold water as the world's temperature continues to rise, and this is one of the places where we think salmon will have a refuge. So I'm going to walk down the hill a little bit here, and I want to point out, you can see some of these plants. You see some willows, some red alder, some currant plants, even down along the creek. These were planted, some by crews, some by volunteers. A little bit more on that later. Let's come on down. Where we're walking now is where the culvert used to be. We're going to cross the stream. Oh, here's something interesting. Piece of garbage. We'll have to remember that, Tiffany, when we go back.
Okay.
One of the things that we found as we were restoring the site is that that previous landowner had just dumped all sorts of garbage everywhere. In fact, we've from time to time have been cleaning it out and moving it off site. But I get distracted. Let's keep going here. And we're going to try not to step on any plants that have been planted. So, I'm going to walk across the stream. By the way, these little boulders in here and the cobbles, this was part of the restoration process. We wanted to create a stream bed that would resemble a natural stream bed. So we brought in gravel, we brought in cobbles, we brought in boulders. And another thing that this does is it also is going to prevent erosion caused by the construction of removing the culvert and all the dirt. Now if you look behind me at the soil here, you see how it's really reddish? This is mulch. We had hundreds and hundreds of cubic yards of mulch brought in because the natural soil here was really difficult, and for revegetation this really helped us restore the site. So we're going to walk up to the top of the old road bed here, avoiding the plants. And if you look behind us again, you can really see the old road bed. You can think about the road over to the right there, the road coming right at us, and we're standing on it again. So for many years now, we have been monitoring the temperature here. That's, in addition to the fish passage, temperature was a real problem. As you can imagine, when you create an artificial pond, and that pond fills up with sediment over time, kind of like a reservoir in a dam, it gets shallow. So what we've had for many years is a 7/10 of an acre pond that's maybe about this deep. Talk about greenhouse effect. Water got so hot on 100-degree day, we measured a difference of 14 degrees Celsius between where the water comes into the pond and where the water leaves the pond at the end. So that's really significant. As you know, or may know, 18 degrees, 64 Celsius, 64 Fahrenheit, excuse me, 18 Celsius is what we're trying to get below, because that's the statewide standard for Salmonid temperatures. And I mean, it was getting up above 18 to 24, 26 degrees at the hottest. It was really nasty. But things are going really well now. Let's take a look. Right here you see a little remnant of a pond. This is actually kind of an offline pond now, and it's a seasonal wetland. It'll be drying up as we go into the summer, but it's kind of nice. We're hoping at some point to get some amphibians recolonizing this area.